Hey team, we're gonna talk all about the dipping cabinet station and how to do proper size scoop. It's very important because not properly scooping can lead to waste, which could cost hundreds and thousands of dollars, and it could cost your job. We wanna make sure that you know the proper way on how to do level scoops. I wanna preface that these training videos are designed for your experience to make sure that if the trainer is forgetting key information, that we are reiterating the very important parts in the video here so that you are well prepared.
Okay, so let's talk about the dipping cabinet real quick. So the thing to remember on the dipping cabinet is that these lids, when we get busy, we can take the actual lids off of the dipping cabinet and set them aside for when we get busy. So that's kind of one of the cool things. But as it slows down, we need to monitor the yogurts, especially the fruit, because it's so high up. When it's slower, we want to put the dipping cabinets back on the fruit because the frozen fruit is what makes our smoothies thick. And so just a couple things on smoothie chemistry. One of our secret sauces is that to make the smoothies thick, we flash freeze the fruit. And so if the fruit is thawing, the smoothies are gonna become runny. Another thing that might make the smoothies thick too is ice. But ice is only used to add a little bit of texture to our smoothies. Just something to consider. Fruit makes it thick, ice is for texture. If a smoothie is too short, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a scoop or two of yogurt or sherbet that acts as the filler. If it's too runny or too thin, we're gonna thicken it up with an extra scoop of fruit. Never, ever, 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 ever use ice to thicken a smoothie. You're only diluting the product and the smoothie will taste like crap. So don't do that and don't let us catch you doing it.
So let's take a look at the recipe cards here. It's all alphabetical, as you can see. The 12 ounce has its own section. 20 ounce has its own section. And then the medium and large share this section here. They just get different colored scoops. These are the scoops. Notice that the top section of each size is colored. That corresponds with the scoop color that you'll use for that size. Red is for the kid smoothie, that's the 12 ounce. Yellow is for the small and the 24 ounce. And the large gets the blue scoop here, the large blue scoop. So let's go ahead and show you the proper sizes for scooping. As you're scooping, you want to roll along the top and then you scrape the side. It's very important that you're scraping the side. We don't want to see large scoops like this. This will lead to a lot of waste. That's not what the recipe is designed. It's designed to have a flat scoop, just like this. That is perfect. Just like the picture on the recipe cards here, flat scoops. Smoothies should blend on the first cycle. If they don't, you're adding too much of something. On the yogurt and the sherbet, smaller scoops are better. This will allow for the smoothie to blend better and more consistently. So again, you can see we're rolling along the top and then scraping it flat. Very important, okay? That's what a good, perfect size scoop should look like. What we don't want to see is people being lazy and they are over scooping, and you can see the difference in the sizes there.
So it's important that you're always looking at the ticket on the smoothie so that you don't over scoop and you don't waste product. It's a common mistake that a lot of team members make. And so we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and making sure that you're reading the ticket. If it says 12 ounce, you're going to use the red scoop. If it says 24 ounce,
I'm going to use the yellow scoop. Like Gary mentioned earlier, the dipping cabinet lids do come off, but depending on the store you're in, your dipping cabinet may look a little bit different than the one he showed in the video. Regardless, if the lids come off, they need to be stored in a very safe area. A not smart idea would be to put them on the tile floor where they could easily slip and fall. They are delicate, they are very expensive. If you're having difficulties sliding them open and shut, maybe they need to be wiped down because they're a little sticky. Just keep in mind the dipping cabinet lids are not designed to be left open for extended periods of time. It's like leaving your freezer door open and wondering why your ice cream's melted after you get home from school. You need to monitor the yogurts and the sherbets. We have this tool you see me using here in the video called a spade. That is used for a couple different reasons. One is for scraping product out of the containers to put on top of the new one, and the other is for scraping it off these sides so that we can make sure everything is one texture and one temperature. If you don't do this, the sides can get very frozen and become extremely hard to scoop. So you can see I'm going to start doing the same thing with the others, the lime and the raspberry. And you really want to make sure you're monitoring the dipping cabinet lids because you can see that some of these are freezing at different temperatures. The lime is stuck in the back, so it becomes slightly more frozen. The orange sherbet that you'll see here in a second is in the front corner, and the lid was left open. It's becoming very soft. This is going to cause the smoothie to be runny, and you're going to have to go back and add more fruit to thicken it. And if we're doing that constantly, we're going to have a lot of waste. If you go back and you dip the spade into water, it's going to help while you're smoothing things out. All right, make sure you are paying attention because you should start to see a pattern here where we're scooping the product off the top sides and we're pulling it towards the middle. You can see that if we don't do that, see how this is more frozen? The middle has more give and the sides here are more frozen, which is going to be a lot harder to scrape and scoop into the smoothie. If there is yogurt or sherbet that's become very frozen, you're going to want to dip the scoop in the dipper well between each scoop so that it becomes less cold while you're scooping. If you try to force the clicker mechanism, it's going to break and the scoops are very costly. It's very simple, and just using these tips and tricks is going to help you make sure that you're doing your part. There's more to Keva Juice than just making a smoothie. We have to be able to use our common sense and some knowledge to monitor the product we're using, being careful with the equipment. You can see I'm dipping the spade into water so that I'm able to smooth things out with more ease. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This orange sherbet was not being monitored as well as the others. The lid was left cracked open on this side and it got much more runny than the others, and we don't want any runny smoothies. We want them to be very thick, like shaved ice, but not chunky. When a sherbet is getting low like this, you're going to want to get a new one out of the freezer, but we do not want to waste this product. We don't want to be wasteful. We want to scrape the excess product out. And you can see here when I opened this, is extremely short from the top. If this ever happens, please be an advocate for our business and let us know so we can talk to our distributor and our supplier, because this is not right and we should be getting a credit on this. You can see like this one here, this is how full they usually come, just around this size. If they're severely short like that, please let us your manager know so that we can get this fixed. So again, this is just very short, but we're still going to go ahead and add the excess yogurt we have onto that so we are not wasting any product. Everything counts, and we really need to be conservative and make sure that we're not being wasteful. When you're switching out an empty tub for a full one, you need to scrape the excess product out. This is a lot. This is enough to make a whole nother smoothie. Please do not let us catching you tossing this down the drain or in the trash. That would be very irresponsible. This looks perfect, making sure that we're scooping it into the new tub, and you're just using a little bit of water on the spade to start to smooth things out and flatten it, marrying the yogurt and the sherbet. Marrying, you become one. That's exactly what we're doing here. Take the empty tub and just go ahead and smash it flat and place it into the large trash can in the back of the store. What we don't want to see is you overfilling it with water in the sink. it's not a thing. You don't need to do this step. It's just very wasteful. It's a waste of water. It's a waste of time and energy. Just smash it down, put it in the trash can like so. It's very simple what we ask. Please just scrape the excess out of the old container and marry it with the new one just like this. Alright, so here's the last very important thing you need to know about the dipping cabinet. We're looking at the fruit recipe cards. There's 2 of them here. They are in alphabetical order, just like the others. They are color coordinated, so pay attention. Depending on the size of the smoothie, that's going to tell you what color scoop to use.
Here's the situation on this scoop. So we have the red handle. Okay, this is a 2-ounce scoop. We have the green handle. This is a 4-ounce scoop. And we have the black handle. This is a 6-ounce scoop. The secret to the smoothies is that if it's a 24-ounce smoothie, it gets 1 proportion of fruit, okay? 1 proportion of fruit. If the smoothie calls for 2 fruits, it's gonna be half of the scoop is gonna be the peaches, and half the scoop is gonna be the strawberries or whatever the fruit is. Now, what some team members will do is, because 2 of these red handles equal 1 of the green, is what they will do is they will just do 1 scoop of raspberries, and let's say it's the Rasmanian Devil, 1 scoop of blueberries, and that's, 2 of these is equal to 1 of these. And so pay very close attention to this. We even in some of the stores explain it right here on the recipe card where it says single fruit smoothie, double fruit smoothie. Never a full portion of peaches and a full portion of strawberries. What's gonna happen if you do that is the smoothie is not going to blend. Chemically wise and from a chemistry standpoint, it's not gonna blend. You're gonna get an air pocket and you're gonna wonder why, and it's because you're not using the scoops properly. So again, 1 for a small, 1 proportion for the red. For the regular size, the 24-ounce, 1 proportion for the green, and for the large, 1 proportion for the black. If they order the Passion Paradise, which is right here, strawberries and peaches, you're gonna do a half a scoop of strawberries and a half a scoop of peaches, just like that. So you're doing half the scoop. Very, very important. Never do a full scoop of strawberries and then a full scoop of peaches. What will happen is this will result in the smoothie not blending because you've added too much fruit.
So very important that you are using the correct size scoop for the corresponding size smoothie. And let's go ahead and look at this recipe card one more time. We'll take a look at the different colored fonts may indicate that you have to do something special for that smoothie, but you can see here the Peach Treaty, Peach Dream, those both get 1 scoop of peaches, Pineapple Splash, 1 scoop of strawberries. If it specifies half scoops, it'll say that on the recipe card for you. Now, there are all fruit smoothies that do get more portions of fruit, but the majority of the smoothies, like Gary said, get 1 proportion of fruit. But if it gets extra fruit, it does specify it on the recipe card, which is very important that you are paying attention. The best way to know if you have a level scoop of fruit is to shake it side to side just like this. It comes out perfect every time, so just pay attention to that.